Likutei Halachot 4:18. V'zeh shechalam, this is about the dream of Yosef, how it ties in to the lesson where he said, V'hinei anachnu me'alemim alumim betoch hasadeh. He told his brothers, we were gathering the sheaves in the field, and he said, sheperusho, which means kisharim, they were tying the bundles together. Hainu bechinat tzimtzumim hanal, shehem bechinat kisharim. So this alludes to those tzimtzumim of the learning, again making the metaphors and the stories in order to lower it, to bring it to people's level. That's what it means to tie it up, to tie the learnings in a way that you make it easier for people to understand. Ki tzimtzum bechinat kesher, because a tzimtzum, which means to lessen it or to lower it, is an idea of tying. Hainu shekulam hayu oskim bazeh, and it says all the brothers were involved in this. You know, if Yaakov Avinu from Avraham Avinu was making gerim and everything like that, really the whole family was involved. It's just that Yosef, let's see what's with Yosef, shayu ma'alimim alumim, everyone was doing the tying of the bundles, ve'osim kesharim et tzimtzumim, kedei limshoch al yadam asagat elokut, in order to draw on them and of course to help others to understand godliness. Aval atzimtzumim va'kelim shel Yosef atzadik alu al kulam. But Yosef's was better, that's the only thing. Yosef was really on the top because his metaphors and his way of teaching was unmatched by the brothers. He was very special and a great chacham. And that's why it says, Bebchinat v'hine kama alumati v'gam netzaba. My sheaves stood up, my bundles, and it stood up straight. And then, of course, everybody was bowing down to his, just to show his was really the main one. Sha'kesher v'atzimtzum shelo, his kesher and tzimtzum, kama v'gam nitzava la'ad u'lenetzach. It stood forever. That's what it means in Nitzav, like we say, v'yatziv v'nachon, stand strong. Which means when he teaches someone, he makes an impression on them for the rest of their life. That's what it means forever. And it says, V'netusu ben alumotechem v'teshahavena le'alumati. Everyone was circling him and bowing down to his. Why that? To show that they needed him even. Shekulam tzirichin lekabel mimenu hasagot elokut. Everyone needed his teaching in order for them to be able to do it themselves. Al yidei tzimtzumim niflaim she'asa b'chokhmato amukah. With his great wisdom and deep wisdom, he was able to make these great tzimtzumim. And even all the brothers, in a way, had to learn from him. And maybe this was part of the jealousy. Al yidei she'asak lekarev nefashot tamid, because it was always involved to bring people back. Shal yidei zeh zacha, that it merits she'afilo tzadikim gedolim shoskin bazeh. Even the great tzaddikim, they would be meritorious to have this benefit. La'asig asagot elokut, to understand godliness al yidei tzimtzumim. Gam hem tzrichim lekabel mimenu. Meaning even the great tzaddikim and of all the generations, it's all from how Yosef started it, that everyone is really coming off of Yosef HaTzadik. That's why he's the forerunner of Mashiach, and Mashiach's going to be the great one who explains Torah to the masses, even the Goyim. So he's going to know how to lower it to even their level. That's why it says the Mashiach is really the teacher of Israel, but that's Yosef. The Davidic Messiah does more, does other things. So we see that he was the great teacher, and even all the tzaddikim like Rabbeinu Zal and everyone, it's all taking from Yosef. He was the master of it all. Ki shelo ole al kulam, because his was greater than the others. B'bchinat rabot banot asu Chayil v'at alit al kulana. Now taking from the end of Mishle, Eshet Chayil, we're going to see how this lesson fits into the Pesukim. It says, Rabot banot asu Chayil. Many of the ladies did success, but that means the brothers in this sense, they all were successful. They had Chayil. It's only that Yosef, Alit al Kulana, he rose above the rest of them. So this is alluding to that. Shenemar al Hatzadik Haemet, Hagadol Bioter Haosek Laasot Kelim Ulvushim Ulamshich Torah Bechochma Amitit Kazot. And even any tzaddik, that he's involved in making kelim and levushim, clothing, which is again the metaphors and all that, in order to bring out the Torah and the Chokhmah, ad sheyuchlu litkarev hakol Hashem yitbarach, until everybody's able to find Hashem. Shezeu bechinat hashevach shel Eshet Chayil. Bechinat, and this is again, Rav Natan is just saying that the song and the shevach of Eshet Chayil has it alluded to in it, and he just brings a few pisukim to show it. It could be you could find it throughout the song. Now it says bechinat da'aresha semer ufishtim, because he said he makes clothing. Clothing is like the kelim. So it means she weaves wool and linen, but it means shehem bechinat kelim ulvushim asagat elokut. He or the tzaddikim know how to make the clothing, semer ufishtim. And it says da'aresha, which means seeks out, but it means to make a derush, a dirasha, midrash. So he knows how to make a dirasha, to water it down to the people and give it to them as the clothing that will fit them, so to speak. So that's how that makes sense. Vezeu bechinat, and more pesukim, hayita ka'oniyot socher, mimerchak tavi lachma. Again, he's like, or she's like the merchant on the boat and finding food from afar, mimerchak. Meaning again, bringing the people close who's far away and knowing how to make far away or far removed the lesson, to make the lesson be constricted and with the tzimtzumim, which means making it further away from what the real truth is with the metaphors. It makes it further away. So he knows how to do that, the tzaddik. That's the food. The food is the Torah learning. And it says, Vatakom be'od laila, she gets up in the middle of the night, Vatiten teref lebeita v'chok le'na'arotea, and she gives food to her household. And again, all this about waking up in the middle of the night and bringing food to your household, which is really the ideas of Torah again. Shebetokef cheshchat leil hagalut, Shel Nafshot Yisrael, because again the nighttime means the galut and the darkness of every person. He notenet lahem teref, she gives him food, and she makes his day light up with information and not so black and bitter anymore. The tzaddik can do that to people. V'chen holech v'sovev kol hashevach hakadosh hazeh. And in this way, this whole shevach of Eshet Chayil works this way, the rabbi is saying. V'zeh bechinat, he still gives a few more examples. Noda b'she'arim ba'ala. And it means, is known at the gates, her husband. But it means shehem bechinat shi'urin de'atvan de'oraita. Noda is again to know, like to give knowledge. Bashe'arim, in shi'urim, which means, besides it could mean a shi'ur, a lesson, but it means a shi'ur, a measurement, because when you measure, it means you're watering it down, you're making it limited. De'atvan de'oraita, like it said, the letters of the Torah. Even the letters of the Torah, the words of the Torah, is already a watered down from what the real truth is in Shamayim. Hainu bechinat tzimtzumim hanal, because that's the tzimtzumim. Shehu mamshich bechochmato, that he draws in the wisdom. Al yadam, noda Hashem barach ba'olam, and through it we're going to know Hashem, who's the Baal. When it says noda b'she'arim ba'ala, it means this tzaddik knows how to make known, noda, make known, b'she'arim, by giving the measurements and the tzimtzumim of the lesson. We know Ba'ala, we know her husband, which is Hashem. Noda Hashem itbarach ba'olam, bechinat noda b'sharim Ba'ala, like he's the head of the house, the Baal. And that's what we want to bring people to understand who their God is at some level that they can understand and grasp. You have to remember, we think it's so simple, but even the Goyim, take the Goyim, they think God is a human. What's his name? Yeshu. So they're very far off from really understanding truth. It's almost like they have a baby-like or a kid-like understanding, because kids think their parents are God, if you just think about it. I mean, little kids, because they're the ones doing everything. They're not sophisticated enough to know that there's something out there that's not human, and how you're going to think of him until they get a little older. But it seems a lot of the Goyim, they also have that mindset. They can't fathom that a God is not a human, like a Superman. So it seems so easy to us to understand, but look how even Jews that are off the derech, they also don't really know what it means. Ribono shel olam. It's like beyond them, and they don't know how to figure it out. So when we help them to understand that there's a God out there that's not tangible, he's not physical, and we try and explain it. It is a real thing to try and help people to know, because most people really don't know. We know, so we think the world knows, but they don't. They don't know what God means. So there is a lot to teach, and there's a lot to water down, and a lot to make kelim and simtsumim and livushim. So there's a lot of work out there to be done. And the tzaddikim, like Yosef, know how to do it. V'zehu pia patecha bechokma v'torat chesed al lishona. Again, the famous pasuk. She opens her mouth in wisdom, and the Torah of chesed, of kindness, is on her tongue. V'dareshu rabotenu zal, in Sota Memtet, it says, Ze halomed Torah al menat lilameda. This is someone who teaches Torah in order to, he learns Torah, in order to teach it. That's called Torah Chesed, because Torah is Torah. But Chesed means to give out, to do a Chesed. So it means to learn Torah in order to give it out is called Torah Chesed. And this is what the tzaddik is trying to do, to make an impact on other people. Hainu kanal. Shemelamed Torah l'acheirim. He teaches Torah to others, lekadavam l'Hashem Yitbarach, to make them close to Hashem Yitbarach. Vezehu Sophia halichot beta. She looks at those wandering or walking in the house. Shetzofeh hiluch beto ech yitnaheg le'olam be'ofen shelo tichbe nero le'olam ba'ed. So it means the tzaddik is looking to see how the people he helped, how they're moving along in the house, meaning in the holy house, which could mean the Beit HaMikdash and just holiness in general, meaning what they're doing, and to help them and to make sure that their light does not go out. So meaning he's worrying about them. He's always Sophia, looking to make sure everyone's okay and everyone's understanding. And you can play on the word halichot, is like halachot, do they know the halacha? He's trying to make everyone know what to do. Sheyeh nish'ar hash'arat chokhmato lidore dorot lanetzach. He wants to make sure that this chokhmah is teaching the people, whether Jew or even Goy, like we said, because Goy has to know about God too, that it'll last for all the generations. Ki, it says, velechem atzlut lo tochel, because the bread of laziness she does not eat. Ki lachmo v'torato eno lechem atzlut, chas v'shalom, because the tzaddik's bread, meaning his learning, is not from laziness, because he's out there doing outreach and trying to reach all the people and the low people. So you need effort for this. You need effort, and you need to do a lot of hishtadlut. It's the opposite of laziness. You could just say, I'll sit home and just take care of myself. But someone who's out there, it means she does not, or he, the tzaddik, does not eat bread of laziness. They're always on the move. Ki haya zariz me'od me'od ba'avodato yitbarach, because he's very busy and very moving with enthusiasm, very much in the service of Hashem, which is to bring the people back. Al ken, and that's why it continues to say, Kamu ba'neha vayasheruha, the children get up and they praise her, this Eshet Chayil or this Sadiq. Again, we're called the Malchut, the opposite side of the Shekhinah, so to speak. Like we said, Knesset Yisrael, which is the female. God is the male, Kucha Brichu, and us, which represents the Shekhinah, is the female. So really the Tzaddik, even though he's the male, we're calling him the female. That's why the Eshet Chayil is appropriate for the man Tzaddik. Like we said many times, God and Israel is the Zivug. Hem atalmidim shenekrim banim. These sons that are going to praise her are the students that they learned from him. Shekervam Lashem Itbarach. It says Ba'ala v'hallela. Again, to her husband, and will praise her. Meaning the husband now is going to praise Zeh Hashem Itbarach. Besides the students praising the tzaddik and thanking him, Hashem is now going to praise the tzaddik, because look what you did. You brought my family together. Ki Hashem Itbarach maskim al zeh. Hashem is agreeing on this and very happy. Ki chafetz bazeh shekerev kulam elav. He wants everyone to get close to him. Ki chafetz chesed hu. He desires chesed, like it says. V'alken rabot banot asu chayil ve'at alit al kulana v'chana. Like we said, just to wrap up with the pasuk we started with, many of the girls, which means the tzaddikim, they have success, Chayil, but you, Yosef, and the tzaddik emet, you are risen above the rest. Ve'at alit al kulana. And that's how it ties in to this idea, which was Yosef's dream.